interviewed by Keith Andrews. I had a great interview, great time with him. Thank you so much.
The whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having learning disabilities, I can still know something. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there. Never give up and prove people wrong no matter what. And show them labels do not dictate who you are. You're going to be KeithAndrewNetWork. Shatter your expectations. It is my destiny. Prove people wrong in this world. Find ways to shatter your expectations. Don't let disabilities define.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith Andrew, and welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. That's right, we have a brand new look, brand new background on the Keith Andrew Network. It is season 13, episode number 8. That's right, season 13, number 8, also known as 1,208 episodes. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and enjoy all 12 and a half years of the one and only Keith Andrew Network. We're here with the talented and beautiful Sabrina. Your
Hi.
name's so great that we're gonna say it twice. But everyone on this channel, I wanted to say one thing. I like to change up the introduction. Sometimes it's just me, then we do commercial break. But if the person's name's easy to pronounce, we just jump right into it. With that being said, the first subject we're going to talk about is icebreakers. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
How are you? My name is Sabrina Torres. I'm from Philadelphia. I have 4 sons. My oldest is 31 years old, and it goes down to 11 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. So next subject I want to talk to you about is sports. When you were in college, were you a studying or party animal? And were you ever into one of those fraternities?
Actually, I went to community college. I had my son early when I was younger, so I was only able to go there. So I wasn't able to go to college and stay and have fun like others. So that's what I did with myself.
Well, you're not really missing anything. You know, to quote a famous cartoon, actually, sorry, I had a brain fire. I can do that again. To quote a famous cartoon, college, 21st century college, was pretty much an expensive daycare center.
It is.
So the next one I want to ask you, did you do any sports growing up? And was there any sports that impacted your life?
Yes, I played baseball. I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers. So my dad and mom would take us out to the field. We played baseball. I played basketball, track, soccer. I did it all.
A lot of people make fun of me for this, but I like this stuff, so I turn it into a little subject. Just like I like to throw curveballs out there, just to say, you know what? If it sounds good, I like to see people's reactions. So I don't write things down and like, should I ask? You know, no, I'm just gonna ask and go with the emotion. So with that being said, did he ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or are you not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
No.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
I also try to play football, but that's not my sport, so I stay away from it.
It's funny you should mention that. There's actually another sport. I think it's called rugby. It's like a women's version of football.
I have seen it. I like watching it. I just don't want to play it.
Now, I understand. When I was younger, I wanted to be a professional wrestler, but can't see without my glasses. So I can still be in the entertainment world, but I would never be like a champion or anything. Never
Right.
say never, though, right?
You can still try.
Absolutely. And that's actually a good segue because tonight on the CW, it is WWE NXT. We're on the road to WrestleMania. It's available on Peacock this Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I think, let's see, if it's 7 here, that means it's 4, 5, see, 7, 4 o'clock Western because there's a 3 hour difference. So 7 o'clock US on the East Coast and 4 o'clock if you're watching on the West Coast. So make sure definitely check out NXT. That's available everywhere on the CW, also available on Peacock. But with that being said, are you a professional wrestling fan?
I like wrestling. I'm a little older, so my favorite guy was Hulk Hogan.
I used to like Hogan, Hulk Hogan too, until he turned to the dark side. But you're not saying that he's like a good guy, bad guy. Dark side as he's an asshole.
I also liked Rock when I watched wrestling when I was younger, so that was good for me.
Oh, fantastic! For a wrestler, he was no disrespect to The Rock. As a wrestler, he's decent. As an actor, hands down, one of the greatest actors. And John Cena too. Not really a great wrestler, but a fantastic actor. But the reason that I bring that up is this Saturday is WrestleMania, and on the bottom screen as we're talking, I actually turn these into green screens. You're got to see the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton take on Charlotte Flair, the daughter of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Will she surpass her father's record of becoming a 16-time women's champion? Also, the biggest main event of night 2. You're gonna see Cody Rhodes, son of American Dream, take on John Cena. John Cena wants to win his 17 champ. He wants to win his 17-time champion. Ric Flair holds the record of being a 16-time champion. Cena wants to be 17-time. We will see if he's able to do that. But also, that's Sunday, by the way, so you have to wait to Sunday, Easter Sunday. But Saturday, night 1's biggest main event is CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. 3 men who have a big chip on their shoulder. We will see who comes out on top. Also, Damian Priest will take on Drew McIntyre. But this is not about wrestling. This is about you. So the next one I want to ask you is, you are a model, and you are also an upcoming professional actress. So the next subject I want to talk to you about, taking off the kid gloves now, we're going to get more serious. How did you break that glass ceiling of stereotypes?
I actually was hanging around my sons. I have 4 sons, 3 are actors and models. And actually, I seen them act and I started to like it. And then I started to be a placeholder in the whole situation. And we just kept going from there. So now I'm starting to do a lot more things.
And as we're talking, we see some of those beautiful pictures where you were modeling. So the first one I want to talk about is you wearing the black leather jacket. That looks like that's really a great picture that you took.
Thank you.
So what was the inspiration behind that?
It was a fashion show for Heartless Vintage. And the fashion show was last year. This year, the magazine see my picture and asked if they can use it for their magazine. But I think they had maybe a lot of females that they chose from, and I was like the final one from all of the females on the list.
And the next one is you also have the cowboy theme going for you. Do you like the whole cowboys and Indians?
I love it. Yes. Yes.
Well, hands down, you are a terrific model. And now, did you become a model before you became an actress, or were you an actress, then you became a model?
When I was younger, my mom had me modeling, and I believe the store was Drawbridge and Clothier, and I won a contest there. And then as I got older, I continued doing it Then once I became a mother, I just stopped everything and I attend to my kids. I raised the kids. Now they're older. I started modeling again. And that's like so many years later.
Now, with everything you mentioned so much, and now the next subject, we're going to talk about the biggest enemy in the room. I kind of like the biggest elephant in the room, but in my case, the biggest dragon in the room. No pun intended. But let's talk about the big elephant in the room because you have four great, beautiful kids. You accomplished so much in your life. You're an actress, you're a model. The biggest enemy that you have and I have is time. Now, do you feel, and because I'm always chasing that golden carrot, I'm always climbing up that ladder to grab the proverbial brass ring. With everything that you still want to conceive in your life, how does time play a part in it?
I need more time, but I always squeeze everything I have to do in one day. And I've learned to do it having the kids. So I am really good stretching my time to do many things. Before I came on this interview with you, I had two photo shoots, one for myself and one for my son. And actually, I had another interview not too long ago. So I did all that in one day.
Well, if this is a personal invite, I would like to interview all four of your sons. They're more than welcome to be on my show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So the next one I want to talk to you about is COVID. How has COVID impacted your modeling and acting career? And as being a mother, for that matter, how has it impacted your life? And do you see life in a different point of view?
Great question. I had a cleaning service before COVID for many years. I was doing well. And once COVID hit, I could not go into anyone's house or apartments or buildings. I was totally scared to do. Some people didn't allow it, and I wouldn't even allow myself to even do it. So I closed that business down. So went through little hard times doing that. My grandmother passed away around that time. My kids and I caught COVID. It took me maybe 6 weeks to breathe normal again. It was terrible. So once that happened, I started to put my energy into modeling and acting, and I'm over here now doing it.
Hey, if you have the heart and passion, you don't let anything, and I mean don't let anything get in your way and distract you. Because
Uh,
life is always full of twists and turns. Of course, yes, there are happy moments, but there's also like sickness and death. Yes, we have to take the time to process it and grieve, but you can't just say, hey, my best friend died. I don't want to do this anymore. If you need to live your life for yourself, because every single person has a story to tell, and just because life throws you a curveball doesn't mean, yes, it can really cut your, uncensored, cut your freaking knees out from underneath you, but you shouldn't feel like you have to shackle yourself and say, I can't do this anymore because this happened. It's about moving, what's the expression? Keep moving forward. And every time I'm going to put my own twist to it, keep moving forward. And by moving forward, you get stronger and you can overcome anything. Do you agree or disagree?
Most definitely, I agree.
So the next one I want to talk to you about, this is a big thing going on, was the education of the whole school. Trump wants to get rid of the Board of Education and the whole education process and all that. So with your kids being in public schools, how do you feel? Do you fear, they're not going to get the best education? Do you fear that the colleges may not be around or things are going to change? How does that affect you as a mother?
It's kind of scary because I have one son that's in college now, and it would be his second year. after the summer. So that's scary. He's worried about it. And also my other two younger ones, they're in middle school, but they really go to a good school. But it's still scary because I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just waiting.
All you have to do is just save your money and be prepared for the worst case scenario. That's all you can really do.
Right.
Not to talk about politics or anything, but we can talk about anything you want. But the next one I want to talk to you about, have you thought about becoming a professional singer?
I repeat that. I'm sorry.
Have you thought about becoming a professional artist and singer?
No. My kids sing. I don't sing.
Well, never say never. It's always good to test the waters.
Right. I have.
The reason I bring that up is the next subject we're going to talk about is song of the day. What was the song that you listened to on this day, and what are some of your favorite music bands or groups?
My favorite singer is Chris Brown, and I love Beyonce and Sierra. I like Celine Dion. Um, I like a lot of jazz music. Uh, Michael Jackson is my favorite, but he's not here. I listen to him a lot as well.
I liked him too before he had his nervous breakdown. He had some great songs, just like Beat It, Flower, um, trying to think without hurting myself, Smooth Criminal. Those are some of the best.
Yes.
But like, let me ask you, do you think it's the blessing or the curse? Because people are like, hey, I want to become famous. I want to be on movies. I want to be on TV shows. Like yourself, you're on magazines. You say, I want it, I want it, I want it. And it's like, you finally get, and yes, I talk with my hands, I'm not Italian. You finally get what you want, but along the way, you kind of have this nervous breakdown. Michael Jackson's an example of that. He turned himself into looked like a freaking muppet. Britney Spears shaved her head and then went into a mental institution. Those the kids from Disney and Nickelodeon, they turned to drugs. So it's kind of like you need to find a balance. And I'm going to say this for your kids too. Stay focused, stay in school because you always need a plan B. So go to school, get a great education, get a bachelor's or BA, and say, okay, now we can go straight and say, I want to become an actor or singer. But if that doesn't work out, you have a plan B. You have a fallback plan. You can become a teacher. You could become a mentor. There's so many things. You can't just say you want to go gun ho about it and say it's either acting or nothing because there's so much in the entertainment world that you can actually lose yourself and it will chew you up and spit you out. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like you look at all these actors who look at Jim Carrey. Hands down, Jim Carrey is one of the greatest actors. But he said recently, well, a while ago, but to me, it's recently, um, he doesn't know who he is because he played so many characters. He said, who is the real Jim Carrey? And for someone who deals with mental illness and suffers from depression and social anxiety, it's kind of like you lose yourself. That's why you need to have a balance. If you meditate, if you know, eat and drink healthy, people are like, oh, no, hey, I party like a rock star, and they die at 38 and 39 because they didn't take care of themselves. So the question I want to ask you is, how do you feel with everything you accomplished because are a great upcoming actress and model? How are you navigating that area of the entertainment world but still having your feet on the ground, right? You're not gonna completely overwhelm yourself.
I completely live a normal life. Mother, my kids know they have to stay in school. If they don't want to do a job, they don't have to. I never forced them. They actually got me into this entertainment situation. It's everything is normal for us. We live a completely normal life. If we can't do certain things, we don't do it.
No, you're absolutely right. But for me, I never take no. I'm kind of like a dog with a bone. If someone says no, I'm like, okay, well, a lot of people say when someone says no, that doesn't mean no. It means no, not no, no, eventually. But if I fall under the spectrum of the R word, but I'm saying, hey, look at what I have accomplished for 12 and a half years. I have shown people, I have interviewed over 1,208 people. So labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And that goes back to the beginning when I say breaking that glass stereotype. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter if I say I'm born and disabled and I fall under the spectrum of the R word. If you're able to break those stereotypes and the glass ceiling, then you can actually accomplish anything you set your mind to. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I agree. And also, like with myself, with the modeling and acting, it happened just out of nowhere, and I just go with it. But I do have a life outside of that, so I still live a normal life. And if I have time, I'll model, I'll act, and we go from there. I'm still a mommy to my kids. And like my second son, he's still in college. He took a break a little off of acting and modeling. So that's a great thing. He's getting his education. And my two younger ones, there's times they don't want to do it and they don't have to. And then there's times they're pushing me to talk to the agent and ask, hey, do they have more work? So it's all up to them. I never push them and they know they have to finish school.
You actually brought up a good subject I want to talk to you about real fast. A lot of people, there are a lot of scammers out there, and it really pisses me off because people think I am one, and I'm not. Hand to God, I'm not a scammer. But you mentioned something that I actually talked about a while ago. When you find your agent or your kids have agents, how do you find the right one, and is it true or not true? You do not pay for them to represent you. Because I was always told you do not pay an agent to represent you.
That's correct. My kid's agent, I've never paid her, and she's a really good agent. She's been in business since 1976. Her name is Lorraine Coden, mainline model in talent, and she's really great. So we've been working with Lorraine for a very long time now.
Hey, see, once she's more than welcome to be on my show, the more the better. But what were the right steps for someone who wants to get an agent? What were the steps that you took?
The first thing I think is for any business you try to be involved in, go to the Better Business Bureau and look them up, and you'll get a lot of information from there.
No, I agree. And anyone who wants to look me up, I'm not on the Better Business Bureau, but I have 157 recommendations on one fan page. On my second fan page, I have another 100. LinkedIn, there's another 100. So I have 300 recommendations and more coming every single day. So I'm like, hey, you know what? You want to look it up and go to YouTube. Here's Facebook. Here's Instagram. You want to hear some from anyone who I interviewed. Here's some video clips. Here's some recommendations. So I actually came across a lot of people who are like, hey, you said you're a producer, and that's really interesting. I don't see anything. can I talk to some of your recommendations, or can you have any reviews? And they're like, oh no, I don't have time to do that. That's
Right.
a red flag. So if you are someone that hides the reviews or says, well, it can look up on this website, and if it comes up, that's great. Nope, I'm like, same thing for you. Here's my Facebook, here's my Instagram, here's everything you need. And if I do apologize, I shoved so much at you, but I'm showing you, hey, he's showing me all his work. He's legit. He's taking this professionally. I'm not like, well, hey, Sabrina, I'm really busy, but go Google me or something. But no, I'm like, okay, you want proof to see I'm the real deal? I gave every single person a recent episode, a review. So you know what I mean? There's the right way and there's the wrong way.
Right. And also too, just like you said, now things are different. You have Facebook and Instagram and different sites that people can go and review your interviews or just like any work, being an actor, actress, model. So we have different things to look, anyone up now. So it's a great thing.
I agree. Now, wrapping up the show, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but I want you to be brutally honest, and I have no cards on my sleeve. So, when you got that email and when you opened the email, what was your very first honest expression? Was like, did you think it was real? Did you think it was a scam? And after doing the show, how do you feel now?
Well, I looked through your Facebook and I seen what you sent me. I said, okay. And how I feel now, I feel great. And I am glad I'm talking to you and I met you. It's totally awesome. You're very pleasant. Um, I felt cool about it.
And for people who are hesitant, like for example, if your sons want to be on the show, or anyone who wants to be on the show, but they're hesitant, oh, I'm not really sure. What was that moment that you said that gave me clarity? It's like, you know what? I seen all this work. Worst case scenario, don't do it again. But hopefully I didn't have that effect on you. But what was that moment said, you know what? He has a strong message, and what made you say yes?
I, well, actually, my mom, when she was living, she worked with kids and some had disabilities. So I said to myself, wow, when you told me your situation, I was like, wow, I'm going to see what's going on here. So I decided to do it, and I'm glad I did.
And for people who are hesitant, what words of wisdom would you want to say to them?
But you can't do anything over the phone or online. Uh, they could just look you up. They could look you up, and your recommendations are really good. So you're good.
No, absolutely. I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but wrapping up, this interview will be shared on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all social medias. Our goal is to reach 500 views. If you're watching, you're obligated to leave a comment, and once we reach our goal, we will definitely do a part two. We have brand new products, and actually, products are in the works. And once I get things going, but we have brand new interviews and video clips of. I'm a big fan of Dumbo and Jumblebook, so if anyone who likes fan-made parodies or circus acts, definitely check out the YouTube channel. Absolutely. Wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege. And until we meet again, I catch you later. Thank you, and
Thank
have a good night.
you too. Thank you.